The Yongnuo RF603N and RF603C flash triggers offer a reliable way of wirelessly connecting external flashes to your camera. They are inexpensive, generally available for about $30 on Amazon, and take standard batteries. I've used these triggers on studio and location shoots, and they perform beautifully regardless of the distance between them. The issue with them has been that they are designed to be used only with Nikon or Canon cameras. There are relatively simple modifications that can be made to the triggers to make them work with any camera that has a hotshoe. Just a couple of notes. This modification obviously voids any warranty on the trigger and requires that you have a small soldering iron that you can use. Remove the battery cover and batteries. There are 3 Phillips head screws that you will need to remove. We are going to be concentrating on one of the 3 wires between the main circuit board and the smaller board under the hotshoe. I've also removed the hotshoe board to easily disconnect the sense wire. There are springs and pins in the hotshoe assembly that you need to keep track of. The wire colors are different on each unit. On this device, the sense wire is white. I've already made an earlier modification to this unit to allow it to work on the Panasonic GH3 and GH4 cameras. I've disconnected the sense wire from the hotshoe circuit board, and I'm going to route the wire to the other side of the trigger. I've already placed a 130 kilo ohm resistor onto the board to get an idea of how I might lay it out. This modification sends 3 volts from the batteries that power the trigger through the sense wire to force the unit to think it's a transmitter regardless of the camera it's attached to. Once you've placed the resistor, just solder it to the power lead, with the other side of the resistor soldered to the sense wire you've just attached from the hotshoe board. Use a low wattage soldering iron and work carefully. The sense wire is very thin and can be easily damaged. You could use heat shrink tube for insulation, but the leads on this resistor are very thick, and once it's bent into place, it won't be going anywhere. Just make sure that the wire nor the leads touch the screws or anything else shiny. Trim the extra lead from the resistor and reassemble the trigger in the reverse order that you disassembled it. When you put the batteries in, you'll see that both lights on the top of the trigger are now green. With only one trigger powered up, only the transmitter will have 2 green lights. Here, I only have the receiver turned on, and there is only one light lit on it. As soon as I turn on the transmitter, the 2 units will connect or pair, and both units will have 2 green lights. Pressing the large button on the transmitter will make one LED on both units flash red. Before I can use this trigger with a Sony a6000, I have to fix an issue with the hotshoe on the camera. The hotshoe has a very stylish black powder coating similar to paint on the hotshoe bracket itself. Any flash or flash trigger needs to make contact with the center connector as well as the bracket of the hotshoe. The powder coat acts like an insulator and has to be removed from the bracket so contact with bare metal can be made. So to get the flash to fire, you'll need to remove some of the powder coating where the flash makes contact. I saw one suggestion to use sandpaper or steel wool. Probably not the best solution. I didn't want to ruin the camera or the look of the hotshoe, so I used a very small flat screwdriver. This way no abrasives could migrate into the camera body since there's no sealing on the camera. The flat screwdriver is narrow and does not distort the bracket. Now with the Sony a6000 hotshoe issue addressed, I'm attaching a small strobe to the receiver and placing the transmitter on the hotshoe. Firing the camera shutter will trigger the flash. Since I need to use this trigger with a Panasonic Lumix camera, I want to test it as well. Looks good, and it's firing every time. This is a simple modification, and you will have a reliable trigger that works on any camera body.